Hello, everyone. Your host, Andrea Giraldo. Welcome to Meetings of the Minds, brought to you by the New York City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce in partnership with BronxNet. This show was created in direct response to the COVID-19 pandemic as a way to highlight the work of our members and partners, as well as to understand the resources they have to help our community in those difficult times. Our first guest is the Director of Continuing Education at Berkeley College's School of Professional Studies, with more than 10 years of experience in management, sales and technology, project management, web development, and video production. She has led training and development initiatives and developed blended digital media training solutions for Fortune 500 companies, professional service organizations, and educational institutions that include NYU School of Professional Studies, Stephen L. Newman Real Estate Institution at Berkeley College, and CUNY School of Professional Studies. Please welcome Ms. Maria Rivera. Thank you for joining us, Maria.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here today, Andrea.
You know, me too. We're going to learn so much from you and the school you work at. So our first question for today, as the Continuing Education Director of Berkeley College, what exactly do you do?
Well, that's a great question. And I have to tell you, I'm really excited to be the Continuing Education Director at Berkeley College. We offer a plethora of programs, certificate programs, and courses that really help people get to the next level in their current jobs or maybe a new career. And let me tell you a little bit about this. First of all, if you want to see our portfolio of courses, you can visit our website, ce.berkeleycollege.edu, and you will see a variety of certificate programs and courses in business management, in healthcare management, in interior design, law enforcement, marketing, social justice, and that's just to name a few topics. The other thing I want to share with you is we also have graduate certificates. So let's say you have someone who doesn't have a graduate degree, but they want to put their toe in the water and test out what it would be to pursue a graduate degree in financial management, accounting, human resources management. They can do that because we have a wonderful variety of graduate certificates. And then for those people who may not be interested in the graduate certificates, maybe they're interested in becoming a security guard in New York.
Wow.
Or a New Jersey security officer.
So it's a variety
of programs.
of programs.
Yes.
That's
yes.
very exciting.
Yes. And then the other thing that I think I get really excited about is the quality of education. We've been around since 1931, if you think about that, right?
Almost 100 years.
Almost 100 years, thank you.
We're not counting.
Thank you. You know, we have amazing faculty with real world experience. If people are in our classes, they're getting access to connect and network with professionals like yourself, other folks, to really learn and grasp the content and have that transformative learning experience.
Excellent. So I heard about your four credit stackable professional certificate programs at Berkeley College. So what does that entail? What is that exactly?
So that's something that is an amazing amazing programs that allow people to, again, test the waters with a particular topic. If they're not quite sure they want to pursue a degree, for let's say example, interior design, they could take 4 foundational courses in interior design, earn 12 college credits, and then if
are they transferable?
They are. You beat me to it. You beat me to it. Yes.
Well, that's the number one question on everyone's mind. What can I do with that afterwards?
Yes, then they would formally apply, which some of the students have done, to the school, and then if they're accepted, then they could pursue the degree in interior design, an associate's degree, or a Bachelor of Fine Arts in interior design, which is very impressive. So they have that pathway. And we have that for game design, graphic design, right? Human resources management, project management. So there's so many ways that someone could go on a journey if they didn't have a degree.
Yeah, it's not necessarily management or,
right.
You know, it's open to everything.
It's open to, it's a really large portfolio of different topics. So
now, can they customize this as they go, or do they sign up on one track and stay with that?
That's a great question. It's not customizable, but it's very strategic the way that it has been organized. And it does give people the opportunity to really pursue that degree once they're finished with those 4 courses, if they choose to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. I love it. So I know you're involved in technology, right, a lot with your school. What are you excited about today with technology?
Well, with technology, I want to answer that question, but I do want to go back and I want to finish the stackable credentials
Of course.
with graduate
Oh, I
certificates.
thought we were done.
We have one more thing we want to point out.
Of course, I'm sorry.
So let's say, for example, Andrea, you have a graduate certificate, a graduate degree in, let's say, human resources management. But then you say, you know what, I love financial management. I want to excel in that area, and I want a graduate degree, right? So you can start by taking a graduate certificate with the 4 courses, right? And then those 4 courses would count towards an MBA, right, at Berkeley College.
Oh.
So that's pretty impressive,
So
that
it's
concentration.
also a pathway towards an
Right,
MBA.
graduate degree, yes.
Yes.
Isn't that exciting?
An MBA or any master's? Or?
An MBA.
Okay.
A concentration
Well,
MBA.
much better.
Yeah. Really, right? It
Yeah.
raises that credential, those credentials on the resume. So going back to your question with technology.
I'm sorry, I hate to stop you, but when you say MBA, it's really impressive because also we know the cost involved around an MBA can be, you know,
quite
they're
hefty, yes.
staggering now. It's incredible how much that has risen.
That's true. And the other thing I wanted to point out is it's the cost, but it's also, I think, the belief, right? So let's say
Yes.
you don't have a graduate degree. You got your bachelor's degree years ago. But you know, to get to that next place in your job, you do need that graduate degree, right? Maybe your neighbor at work, you know, they were able to get promoted because they have that graduate degree, but you have the skills even better than that person. Think about how that positions you with that graduate degree. So it makes you think, wow, I took these 4 courses, I aced them, I did well, I can have a graduate degree.
Yeah.
You know, be the first person in your family to have a graduate degree, or, you know, just go on that path that you thought wasn't even possible. That's what I love about these stackable credentials.
Yeah. So maybe as a segue to the technology question I was asking before, are these programs virtual, hybrid, in person? What does the school offer?
Oh, that's a great question. So some of the certificate programs, some of them are hybrid. So for example, interior design, you could take one course such as architectural visualization online or in person, or sketching and color composition. You could take that either online or in person. And then, for example, the paralegal certificate, we have 3. Those are all online. But what's exciting about those is those also qualify for the Bachelor's of Science degree in legal studies. So another pathway.
Yeah.
But that's a great question. So that some of the courses are hybrid and some of them are in person, which is really great. Sometimes if you're ever in the neighborhood, anyone who's watching in Woodland Park, the gallery, the interior design gallery, the designs of the students, really beautiful work.
And just as information, your campuses are located at?
Yes, Woodland Park, New
For
Jersey.
those in-person
for those
courses,
in-person
of
courses,
course.
Sure. So Woodland Park, New Jersey. We have, and it's basically Woodland Park, New Jersey, and Woodbridge.
Okay.
And Newark. Let's not forget Newark, New Jersey as
Oh,
well, which I'm
yeah.
very excited about.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have an office in New York City, right on 43rd Street, and not far from Bryant Park, which is a
Okay.
beautiful campus as well.
Yes, I can imagine.
Yes.
So going back to technology, what are you excited about today within education?
Well, I really love AI. I think it has tremendous, it can play such a big role in education.
Yeah.
So for example.
In a good way.
In a good way.
In a good way.
Yes.
Because we know there are a lot of, people against it. There's a lot of conflict,
Yes. That's true.
polarizing topic.
It is a polarizing topic. But as an educator, for
Yeah.
example, I'm an instructor, right? I teach different things in some of the other schools. And the idea that I need a PowerPoint presentation for a new topic I'm going to present, I can go to ChatGPT and say, create this PowerPoint presentation on this topic.
Oh,
Now, it'll pump it out, right?
Yeah.
And then let's say it gave me a couple of slides with maybe too many bullets, too much detail. I could say, take slide number 7 and reduce the bullets. Now,
Okay.
of course, I am the expert in the content,
Yes.
and I have to make sure that everything looks good, it's smooth, the transitions are smooth. But at the end of the day, imagine saving that amount of time.
it is amazing because, preparing for any class as the facilitator, that's a lot of work.
Yes. And then from a student perspective, let's say you graduate, you're ready to go on those job interviews. Maybe you want to upload your resume and tell the ChatGPT, create a cover letter for me based on this particular job.
okay.
Again, pumps it out, right? And then they have to edit and make sure it sounds good. It sounds like them, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
the time that's being saved.
Oh, for
Right,
sure.
right.
For sure. But I'm glad you pointed out that there still has to be that professional
Oh, yes.
behind
Yes.
checking what's going on.
Yes.
So it's not completely AI and fly with it, but it's
You're right.
always good, that word of caution that,
Yes, yes, that guiding person, the person needs to review the content to make sure that it's exactly what they want and that it reflects their personality, especially when it comes to a resume or a cover letter. The other thing is I love AI in terms of virtual reality. I do some work in virtual reality. And the idea that you could have AI as a virtual assistants within that environment. I mean, we can go on forever,
Yeah,
but,
I'm sure.
but there's tremendous
Never-ending
opportunity
topic.
with AI.
Yeah.
And I do want to bring it back to Berkeley College because Berkeley
Yeah.
College does have a class on artificial intelligence
Oh.
and machine learning and programming and all these things. But the idea that someone could, again, take one course, they're not sure how things work, right? They want to get acquainted with a particular topic. Berkeley College is here, and to your point, so the classes, a lot of classes are online, so it's very convenient for people to come and pick up a skill and have a great learning experience and walk away with, wow, this is what I could do with this class.
Excellent. I
So I
love
appreciate
it.
that question.
I
It's
love
a great
it.
question.
So as far as, tell me a little bit about the work you've done through the school, through Berkeley College, for underserved communities.
So in terms of Berkeley College, I go on, I speak at different events, different high schools, right, to promote the importance of education, right, and also not this education, but it's also the importance of collaboration, right.
Yeah.
I think students need to understand, yes, you need to be an expert, you need to have the knowledge, but you also need to know how to work with others.
Yeah.
So that's important. And then
Collaboration,
collaboration,
teamwork.
right?
Yeah.
And then you need to know that there are people that look like us, you know, Hispanic women are doing some amazing work and really continuing to share that message, you know.
Excellent.
You know,
I love
it's
it.
really,
I
it's
love
really
it.
true.
So let me just remind, for those that are just tuning in, we have with us today Maria Rivera. She's the Director of Continuing Education at Berkeley College School of Professional Studies. And we're just learning so much about Maria and about Berkeley College and the importance of professional degrees that they offer for students at her college, specifically, as we were just talking about, to Latino students. So let's go back to some other questions, because this is like such a, you know, so much we could talk about today, but we kind of have to narrow it down. How about if you elaborate more on some of those certificates and degrees for those that are just joining in?
Sure, sure. So the certificates that we have are on a variety of topics. Business management, human resources management, game design, graphic design, interior design, social justice, supply chain management. So we have a plethora of certificates and
everything,
programs,
yeah.
truly.
Yeah.
And I did also want to mention that I also manage professional development projects. So companies see us as the answer to helping their employees get to the next level on a variety of topics. One project that I'm very excited to work on is with the New York City Football Club. We are doing leadership training, professional development. And I have to say, I went to my first soccer game a few weeks ago, and
Your
it was
first?
really,
Oh my God. Maria.
well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But you know what? But it was exciting.
I'm so happy. But going back to your Latinos and the work you've done in the community and all of that, in your perspective, what is needed for Latinos to bridge the skill gap?
So I believe what's needed for Latinos to build the skill gap is really technology, right? And you know,
Access to technology.
access to technology, right? Access, but also understanding technology.
So education.
Education,
on
right?
technology.
Education. So they should, you know, really be interested. What's happening with the game design world and the graphic design? Those types of skill sets are really, really important. Or artificial intelligence, or cloud computing, and also project management. There are international projects. People can learn how to do project management, which is such an important skill set to have. So those are really critical. And Berkeley College has programs in those areas, which is great. They're short. A lot of these certificates are 4 courses, and they get a certificate.
What is the timeline to complete any of these professional degrees or certificates?
That's a great question. So, for example,
I mean, the expectation. You know, I'm
expectation.
sure there's not a set time, but there's a range that you
Yes.
allow.
Yes, that's a great question. So most of these certificates can be completed in 2 semesters, such as the game design, graphic design certificate. The paralegal certificate would take perhaps 3 semesters, right? But then we didn't talk about the healthcare area, right?
Oh,
and we
okay.
have, which is really amazing, we have a couple of healthcare programs that are really growing in the industry. We have the phlebotomy training, technical training program.
Okay.
We have the EKG technical training program.
Yeah.
And one of my favorites is the medical billing and coding,
That's
because it's so
very popular.
very popular.
Very popular nowadays.
And it's so essential, right? You're helping the consumer in so many ways. And also, you could do it remotely.
Yeah.
So you could be in the comfort of your own home, right?
Uh-huh.
And be working and helping people understand their bills and make sure they get the
Yeah.
right, setup. So I think that those three areas are growing
Yeah.
tremendously.
Which is also stepping into workforce development.
Yes, yes,
Which
absolutely.
is very key.
Absolutely.
Micro-credentials.
Micro-credentials, right,
Yes,
right.
yes, yes, yes.
Yes, and speaking of micro-credentials, we also have, for those people in the audience who may be thinking, what about diversity, equity, and inclusion? We have a 4-course certificate that is also considered a micro-credential because you can complete it in 1 semester. You have the assessments, right? You have the takeaways. I mean, it's really well done, well organized, and comprehensive as all the certificates are. Yes. So-
Excellent. And what advice would you have for the next generation of students looking to for a degree to build a career? So for those that are just starting off.
For those that are just starting off, I would say that the advice I would give is make sure that, as you look at the schools you're going to attend, that you're going to a school where you have the opportunity to have the best education in terms of technology, right? But it's technology, but it's also the school is also going to give you leadership training, which we have at Berkeley as well. Because even as an individual contributor, you're finishing, you just got your degree, and you're working in a department. Maybe nobody's reporting to you yet,
Yeah.
but you still have to know how to get along
Yeah.
with people. Be
And
persuasive.
eventually,
Yeah.
you will build up
Yes.
to that leadership
Exactly.
position. So we all have to dream and aspire to, go beyond.
Beautifully
Yes.
stated. Dream. You're right. You have to believe that you can have this other team that you're going to be managing, but you have to learn those skills,
Yes.
right? And you have to be able to have that transformative learning experience and really get along with people and be persuasive, and also learn to create a plan for yourself, right?
Yes.
Where do you want to be? You've just graduated. Tell me,
Well,
right?
well, you just almost read my mind, because I'm thinking here, okay, well, you're very successful within your
Yes.
field. You're at a
Yes.
top school in New York City, in the New York metropolitan area. For a young Latino that is looking to break into a career in education, in higher education as yourself, now what advice would you provide them?
So I would say to them, that's a great question. So I would say to them, look at the different schools, a school that you may want to be part of, right? It could be a school in your community. What are their values? What are the diversity, equity, inclusion statement on their website? What are they? What are they up to? And if there's something that resonates with you and you want to pursue working at that higher ed organization, then learn something about what they're teaching there, right? So that when you go on that interview, you at least have that background, that you did some research. Now you could have learned some of the topics, with colleagues, with professional coaches or whoever it is, so that when you go on those interviews, you can have the language of the higher ed conversation. So you could join a meetup group with higher ed professionals. If anybody's on this, listening to this, and they want to learn more about higher ed, I'll share my information. I can talk about higher ed for hours.
No,
But
I want you to talk about, you see, because the philosophy of the show is to provide information that is valuable for the community. So I appreciate everything you've discussed about higher education, but also on a personal level, your advice for your career, because there are tons of people out there that are, aspiring different professions, but one can be in higher education.
Absolutely.
So by all means,
Oh,
please.
sure. Okay, so, and a couple of careers in higher ed. Let's talk about that. So you have the folks who create the schedules. So are you an organized person? Do you love creating schedules, events for your family or friends, and you're very precise about everything? You're very detail-oriented. That's a career in higher ed, right? A scheduler, right, of sorts, right? Then you have the instructional designer. Now, did you go to school for teaching? Do you know how to design a course? Do you know what creates a stellar course experience, either online or in person? That's a job in higher ed, right? Courses have to be created, right, delivered, okay? Advisor. Do people feel comfortable talking to you? Are you inspiring? Do you think you can motivate people to start, once they start the program, to finish that program with a real interest in their success? Advisement is another career. There are many careers in higher ed. I mean, that's
So
just a
it's
few.
not only being teachers.
Right,
Okay?
only be
so
right,
there are
exactly.
other things you can do.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
That's right. You're absolutely
yeah.
right. And if you do want to be a teacher in higher ed, well, of course, that's adjunct instructor.
Oh, by all means,
And then
yes.
so let's say you got your bachelor's degree. You know, most of the time, you know, we prefer, you know, the master's degrees, but in that process, maybe you start a master's program. You know, you can start a master's program at Berkeley College, but you start that master's program, so when you apply on your resume, it states that you have that in progress at least. But some adjunct, and most people don't know that some adjunct faculty can be hired even without a master's degree if they're experts in the topic. If
Oh.
they have taken the time to understand what it is to teach, right? So person could pick up, you know, some books on instructional design, take courses on instructional design, best teaching methodologies, join a teachers organization, a meetup organization. There's so many ways to connect with people. Absolutely. And there are a lot of us that like to give back. Like I just spoke at I also work with the Association of Talent Development in New Jersey.
Okay.
And I facilitated a conversation with folks trying to transition from a corporate work to higher ed, you know, as teachers, right?
Yeah.
And so those people now, you know, we met different people from different organizations, so we share secrets of the trade. What makes a great class? So the best thing is really talking to somebody who's lived and breathed it, and find someone who wants to give that back.
So aside from finding your passion, discovering your passion, looking to connect to someone that is already in the field.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And they will share resources, they will give you their time because they love to do it. And they want to see other people succeed.
Excellent.
True educators
I
really
love it.
wanna
Never
do that.
stop educating.
No.
Now, what sort of professional workshops or information sessions that someone can attend before they decide to enter any of these programs? Do you do any?
We do. Yes, we
Okay.
do. You do. And I can share my email. It's Maria-Rivera11. There are a lot of Maria Rivera's 11 at berkeleycollege.edu. And certainly we have information sessions on a lot of these different programs. So I had someone teaching, talking about the healthcare, how to become a phlebotomy technical person. And that is really important because you get a chance to hear firsthand from that medical person what that is like, what they can experience.
Now, are the information sessions like general topics, or you go into specifics about?
They're specific.
And are they hybrid or are they in person?
Right now,
or online, I should say.
Right now, they're online. That's a great question, Andrea. Right now, they're online, and they're very easy to attend. I always share the deck afterwards, so they know exactly what we covered.
Yeah.
They have the contact person they can reach out to.
Yeah.
And we create very, engaging information sessions because we want people to ask us questions so they get as much information as they can before registering for one of the programs.
Excellent. So they know what they're going into.
Yes.
Before they sign up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes we invite alums to talk about their experiences with the program,
okay.
so they get a chance to hear firsthand from that alum what was it like to go through that journey and what are they doing now.
Where are they today?
Right. Yes. So that's
Excellent.
important.
I love it. So once again, more on Maria Rivera and everything that she and her friends at Berkeley College are doing. You email her at Maria-Rivera, Rivera 11 or 11 at berkeleycollege.edu. You can visit her on social media, or the school, I should say, not her, at berkeleycollege.edu. You may also visit their website at berkeleycollege.edu. And unfortunately, that is all the time we have for today. So Maria, any parting words? I want to thank you for joining us.
Well, I think the parting words are that, I think education is magical. It has transformed my life in so many ways and continues to do so. I didn't mention yet, but I had teaching a class at NYU, the School of Professional,
You're teaching?
I'm teaching a class at NYU,
okay.
the Tisch Institute of Global Sport on immersive media. But my point in sharing that is that I continue to learn myself so that I can carry on and be motivated by these new experiences.
Yeah.
So that's really important. So a
Okay.
lifelong learner.
Yes, a lifelong. I love that. That's so important. Again, Berkeley College on Instagram at Berkeley College. We have their website, www.berkeleycollege.edu. If you want more specific information, you can also reach out to Maria.
Yes.
At
the website is ce.berkeleycollege.edu.
And
so
your
the stands
email.
and the email is Maria-Rivera 11 at berkeleycollege.edu.
Yeah, don't forget that 1 at 11.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So, okay, this is great, Maria. Any final words?
Yes, wanted to say thank you again
Aw.
to you and Cindy Ruby Estrada and Linda Morrow Pinsky, the campus operating officer of the New York City office. Thank you.
I don't think
At
we
Berkeley
heard you
College.
that last time. Who was that?
Linda Pinsky Morrow at the Berkeley College. She is the campus operating officer.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Well, thank you again, Maria, for joining us today, and our viewers for tuning in and checking us out. We really appreciate it. Keep following BronxNet TV for continued coverage. If you are not a member of the New York City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, you can always visit us at www.hispanicchamber.nyc and become a member today. Once again, that is www.hispanicchamber.nyc. And you can also engage with us on LinkedIn at New York City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, on Facebook, on Twitter. And we'll see you next time for another episode of Meetings of the Minds in partnership with BronxNet. And see you all next time. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.